Only you get my eye. I said together we prosper. You be the key to my eye. So when you kiss me, you take my breath away. Oh my God, the God is close. Said me, I love you very so. Don't ever let me go. Just keep on loving me forever.
This is Uncle Julius on Tukpah 107.1 FM.
Tomorrow, my
Okay, Sky 107.1 FM. Good morning and welcome to the broadcast here. This is Sky. We are coming to you live from the nation's capital, Monrovia. Today is the 9th day of February, 2022 is the year. The time is 10:30. Let's bring the program 50-50 on this radio.
Good morning, Robert Sport. Good morning, Todota. Good morning, Salala. Good morning, Clarke City. Good morning, Apollo. Good morning, Buchanan. Good morning, La. Good morning, Caldwell. Good morning, Brewerville, Virginia, Camp David. My river edge, this is 50-50 on the Wednesday morning on Sky 107.1 FM. With this topic, we have been discussing the controversial book written by Emmanuel, Clarke, and Isaac van Tukpah. The book entitled George, Weah, the Legend, The Great, the Dream, and Rise to Power. The two authors will be my special studio guests today on 50-50. What do you make of the book, the contents of the book, especially the nucleus contents as contained in chapter 13 of the book? They will be here as my special studio guests. My name is Steve Master. I'm the grandson of my grandfather. By 11 o'clock, I gave it that brilliant opportunity, that rare opportunity, that privilege to be on this BKS platform by using those numbers on 077-777-107, or you call us on 077-221-223. You'll be live from 50-50 on Sky 107. Those numbers intentionally pinned on our Facebook page, Sky Communications. You can get on our YouTube as well. We'll be back right after the theme song.
Listen up. Here's a special Valentine deal from Orange Money. All customers transacting using Orange Money stand a chance to win a romantic dinner for two. The more you transact between February 6th to 11th, the better your chance. Put some light in your relationship and life in your home. Do all your transactions this Valentine using Orange Money, and you might just be a lucky winner. To transact, dial *144# or download the Orange Money Africa app from Play Store or App Store and follow the instructions. You must self-activate or self-purchase. A third-party activation is not eligible. Oh la la! Stand a chance to win a free and cozy dinner just for two at one of Liberia's best restaurants. Sparkle up your love life this Valentine. It's the Orange Money Valentine's promo. Love is in the air.
Brings you closer to what matters.
Orange.
That you? Hey, go to your when you man. I'm surprised because most of your kids call your friend when you go to America.
Come on, man. I told you I'll make a difference, girl. By the way, I need to send you some cash for her that the banks are closed today in LIB.
You sleepy? That bro going to another level. You can see the script on my phone.
Receive money from your family and friends in the US directly into your Orange Money wallet. Yes, you heard me right. Tell your loved ones to download the BNB or Small World money transfer apps or visit their websites to begin transferring. Visit www.orange.com.lr for more information. Free for sender until 30th November.
Brings you closer to what matters.
Orange.
After being in the business for more than 20 years, Uptown Garage has all it takes to make your car work best for you. Uptown Garage has brought in all sizes of new quality tires. We also have the efficient and long-lasting Uptown batteries. Uptown Garage has also brought in a state-of-the-art 2022 upgraded diagnostic machine that can easily detect any problem with your car. Don't worry, we can fix it for you. Is your car having any electrical problem? Well, Uptown Garage has a professional electrician from Ghana who is up to the task of programming and solving all of your car electrical problems. Uptown Garage is at the intersection of Broad and Nelson Streets with the Uptown Spare Parts Store on Broad Street side. We have our garage and new showroom at Rehab at the junction of President Weah's residence. For original spark plugs from Japan, oil filters, engine oil, and everything you need to get your car working perfectly, come to Uptown Garage. We give 1 month warranty. We also provide a tow truck free of charge if we are the ones to work on your car. But we can also tow your car anywhere for a fee. Contact Uptown Garage head office on 0777 553317 or 0886 553317 or our rehab branch on 0770 902865. Uptown Garage, your 100% Liberian owned, is here to put a smile on your face.
Thank you very much. We're back on 50/50 on Sky 107. Today, my special studio guests who are not here, but they are Liberians. They reside in the United States of America. They wrote that controversial book that we've been discussing around street corners. George Weah, the legend, and his rise to power. They are Mr. Emmanuel Clarke and Mr. Isaac Tukpah. Isaac Tukpah, a fortnight ago, was in Liberia working as chief of office staff for the political leader of the Alternative National Congress, Alexander Benedict, coming before the story of the book came out. has long since resigned his position and went back to the States. So they are our special studio guests today on as we discuss this controversial book. So it is welcome to Isaac Tukpah and Honorable, do not call it Honorable, the man himself, legend, the prolific writer Emmanuel Tukpah. Good morning, Isaac.
Yes, it's Emmanuel Clarke.
Emmanuel Clarke and Isaac Tukpah. Where is Emmanuel? I'm not seeing him.
Chief, why you always trying to make my name crew name? I need a better name, Tukpah.
I don't want to go to that war with you today, Isaac. Fortunately, you left Liberia. I'll call it any way I want to call it. You got no way of dealing with that. I'll call you, okay, you Pella Isaac Tukpah. It's a tongue twister anyway.
It is.
So thank you very much. While we're waiting for how has it been with you since you left Liberia?
Man, it's been a little tough. Because I'm missing Liberia, but it's been revealing, you know. Sometimes you get to learn mindsets, you get to learn intent, and then you say, wow, thank God certain things happen the way they happen.
How did you leave Liberia? We got some different accounts that you went in a plastic bag by way of Sierra Leone. How true is that?
No, I reserved that for Heron Costa. Heron Costa, I want to get high and leave.
So how did you leave?
I left through the airport.
You left through the airport, so you didn't leave Nicodemously?
No, I left publicly. I was actually going live when I left.
Okay. So you didn't cross the river. You didn't go in a plastic cassava bag, and you just went by the way of the airport. So everybody saw you going.
If I tried that, I could have been shot. And then they said, they know
shot. Costa tried that. You was not shot though. It could have been a good way to get out.
Because I had Jägers of putting him in the back of the kingdom, so he was protected.
So let's get to this book. How did this book come about? How did it start?
Well, T-Max, I have a co-author, Mr. Emmanuel Clarke, and he's on the line. You at least recognize him, man.
Okay. Let me talk to. I get a little something on him, Emmanuel Clarke, and now I'm supposed to have some extended relationship. I'm not going to that because he didn't tell me officially. So good morning, Eman.
Good morning, T-Max. How are you today?
You know about our tradition. You owe me. You're supposed to be carrying my water in the bathroom and make fun for me by virtue of who you are. You know that, right?
We need to keep that secret because you don't want to be too close to me.
Okay. So, Emmanuel just gave me an insight how the idea of writing a book of this magnitude come about.
George Weah, I mean, for me, I've been writing for over almost 2 decades now. But being a Liberian, being an author and an educator here in the U.S., having written so many books, I saw it upon myself that it was time to tell President Weah's story because the man has a very beautiful story. So that idea came about in 2017. I had gone to Liberia to start a business that we forecast to have with the potential of hiring about 350,000 Liberians. But I was discouraged by the business environment at that time, and I lost everything and came back to the United States. So as a writer, I said, you know what? It's time to tell President Weah's story. So I came and I was in Liberia gathering information, trying to approach the president, but he was hard to approach. He's very hard. His handlers, people around him, they keep the president at a distance. At that time, he was not president. And when I came back to the U.S., I got Mr. Tukpah involved with the project because he'd been too close to Mr. Weah. He would have galvanized the resources to complete the book. So he jumped right on. And we had the perfect team.
Could you explain to me a little bit when you said you contacted IVAC because he was too close to George Weah? What is that? Do they have any relationship?
Oh, yes. He knew everybody around George Weah. He had been with CDC USA.
Oh, okay.
He knows the player. So that's how I couldn't go after those guys asking for a story. I couldn't go directly. I thought he would have, gotten Mr. Weah involved with the project. So I got him involved and he galvanized everything, people to talk, who to reach to. He even crafted several letters to George Weah himself. We sent it to his several emails, addresses, Eugene Nangbe, Natalia McGill, Pisota, and other people. I contacted my personal friends in Liberia. I contacted Akaros Gray, who is a good friend of mine, Samuel Twe. None of them returned my text messages. But we got the information we wanted. We contacted Mr. Weah for verification. In journalism, you have to write, you audit, and you rewrite. You got to verify and cross-check the sources of your information. That we did. Give Mr. Weah the chance. as president to get a sit down with us, he refused. And the man is a celebrity. You know, you write about celebrity even with or without their permission. Once you have a verifiable information about the person.
So that's how the project started. So if you look at the accounts in the book, so they were not one-on-one account recitation, if you will, given to you by George Emmanuel Weah himself. There were some different sources. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
So there was not George Weah sitting in a room with you and I giving his own lifetime story. You got it from different sources.
Yes, we did.
Yes, there were multiple sources, interviews, private discussions, questionnaires, and sometimes one or two group sittings where we talk to, a few people to get their thoughts. So it's not like a direct one-on-one with George Weah. George Weah did not want to participate in the project, in the effort. He didn't even want to consider it, even though communication was sent to him, even though we talked directly about it. He didn't want to do it. But like Emmanuel said, you can do an unauthorized biography. You stand by your story based on your research, based on the people you interview, based on the information you have had that you try to validate and verify. So that's where the story is. And most of the people who know Weah know everything. If they can read the book, they'll recognize that everything is true. There may be some nuances. Who knows? The perfection is strived for. For most time, we don't get it. So we are open to people's opinion. That's why we embrace some of the criticism. We're not going to cry about them, but that's what it is. It is a book. George Weah is an international icon. He's an African icon. He's a Liberian icon, and people want to know his story. So the effort, the initiative started by Emmanuel, I thought was worthwhile. I've always felt that George Weah doesn't even understand his own potential. He talks sometimes about people overlooking him, but he overlooks himself in terms of what his position is, where he has reached, and what the national and international responsibility is on him. So he avoids that and tries to shift the blame, on other people as to what his stature is, where he is. So he's always kind of whining and complaining about people say this about him, people do that. But you have merited that position, so you should be able to take what people say, what they don't say.
So let's look at the authenticity about the contents of the book. Is that something that you can authentically say that is the life of George Weah? Can we put a thumb on that?
You can try. The individual is diverse. He's basically like an elephant. It depends on what part you touch, and to you, that's the part that you see. Whether it's the trunk, whether it's the mouth, whether it's the ears, whether it's the toenail, whether it's the legs, the tail, the actual torso. So there's multiple sides to the individual, and based on situations and based on events, that's how you read the person. But to bring him into totality, that's why you do the necessary research. You engage multiple people. You try to, bring a story.
So can we say,
yes,
Emmanuel, can we say therefore that all the stuff at the contents of the book are the actual facts about the life of George Weah?
They are, because Mr. Gilate, do you have siblings?
Of course I do.
Okay. Would your siblings lie on you?
Could be.
Tell misinformation about you?
Could be.
Yeah, but the book went in depth into Mr. Weah's life, relatives, family members, siblings, friends, people he grew up with. So, and we did in depth. As an academician, I don't just write. I write based on fact. I write qualitatively and quantitatively. You get your data. The data or the information we gather, we had to cross-check sources, do corroborative analysis on the answer, even those written questionnaire that came. If 5 people, different people, said the same thing about T-Max Gelate, I don't think they can be wrong. So you're going to draw a logical conclusion and say, you know what, this is correct, especially people that have been around you. This is good information. Then you put that down with the hope that you can have Mr. Gelate to come and just give you benefit of the doubt to verify some of the facts. So, I mean, we believe what we wrote, and we're going to stand behind the story we wrote. George, everybody, anywhere, newspaper, they do the same thing. So the story is authentic. It's not made up. You read the book. Have you read the book?
I read portion of the book. I've not completed reading the book because, to be honest with you, I was pissed off with the book anyway.
That book is a very beautiful book.
But
you can be pissed off.
Let's hear why he pissed off, because then it will give us a better understanding of his mindset. So why he pissed off, Chief?
Let me, because one would have thought either, because I'm closer to you than I am to Emmanuel.
Yeah,
Iva. When the book was popular, when the work was done, did you get any authorization as to the publication of the book to say, hey, these are the words of George Weah, these are the attitudes and conducts of George Weah? Did you do that? Were you authorized to publish the book as is?
But T-Max, we said it was not authorized. We did a letter to George Weah, like Emmanuel said. We did it to. We sent it to McGill. We sent it to other people next to him. And I'm sharing my screen now, so you can see the letter. So you can understand.
So what was the feedback? You sent a couple of letters to get to him. What was the feedback?
No feedback, T-Max. No feedback.
No feedback at all.
Yeah, no feedback. So that should not stop the publication, not at all, because we stand by the story.
Okay, let's get back to this controversial chapter 13.
But T-Max, do you see the letter?
Yeah, I'm reading the letter. It's far from me. It's not it's not coming out the way that I wanted to come up. But let's.
You want me to read it for you?
Yeah, please do. So you give me the better background, because I'm not getting it.
Okay, so we got the address of the president there, and we say, "Dear President Weah, we greet you in the highest esteem and wish you and your administration the best." And the date of this communication, after previous verbal communication, is February 5th, 2019. Mr. President, we have for long admired your storied life, career, and accomplishments. We have endeavored to capture your life from birth to your ascension to the highest office in Liberia in a succinct manuscript entitled The Dream, the Legend, the Rise to Power. In this regard, we would like to have a series of interviews with you to align with the various chapters of the book and provide clear interpretation of events from your perspective. Additionally, we respectfully request that you please share original pictures and videos of key moments in your life. We'll be happy to answer any questions or queries you may have. Sincerely, Emmanuel Clarke, co-author, Azeva Tukpah, co-author. So we did everything possible to get President Weah to be involved.
So when the book was published, what was his reaction? Did he talk to you as to the contents of the book? Did the president talk to you?
Well, probably through intermediaries, sent some people to me, but at that point,
what did they tell you? Yeah, what did they tell you about the contents of the book coming from the president's side?
Well, they didn't even know the contents of the book at that point.
What
the
was
only
it?
thing was, don't write a book, don't publish a book. That was the only thing.
I said, okay, I said all the contents in the book are all read, but don't publish it. Is that what the president said to you?
No, they didn't know what the contents in the book. The opportunity was there to engage the president to walk through the book.
But why would they say don't publish it if they didn't read it?
But that's the point. Even right now, the noise that a lot of people are making, they haven't read the book, T-Max.
So let's get to the crux of the story. Liberian women in Liberia, and this story has contained this as contained in chapter 13, the graphic illustration and depiction of who George Weah's wife is, what George Weah said about his wife, and then vis-a-vis what George Weah had the preference of his wife's originality and that of Liberian womanhood. Were you forced to post such graphic illustration of that?
Yes. You referring to me?
Referring to anyone?
To
either
of
Eva
course,
or you.
We got multiple corroborated, answers for that particular question. There were 40 questions that were sent, and we have multiple people that were part of George Weah's posse, his cycle, that said a story. We try to polish this story as much as possible, but George Weah being a celebrity and a person who talks, who says what he wants to say, we didn't want to misquote him by watering what he said down, substituting it with, if you are quoting somebody, even from the third party, if you water that quote down, you misquote the person. So you have to walk a fine line before you might be held for misquotation. So in writing, you may do it verbatim, or you can paraphrase it. And that's exactly what we did. And I'm going to stand with the story. I'm not going to apologize personally for what I wrote.
George Weah said he didn't give it some graphic depiction or illustration about his wife and Liberian womanhood.
He didn't give it to me. He gave it to friends.
It was about him and his wife. They couldn't have come from any third party. It would have come from George Weah. By now, he would not have been denying it as now.
Where has he denied it?
He didn't give you the authorization. You went ahead and did it.
But that's not a denial. How do you consider that a denial? He just didn't authorize a book. He didn't even know what the contents of the book were. But he has not denied it. And most of the people who know him know he said that. It's not new news. Look, T-Mac, you cannot define a book by 2 words, 1 paragraph, or 1 sentence, 1 paragraph, 1 chapter. No. People need to read the full book to get an appreciation. Yeah, this piece has been sensationalized. But after people step back, that's somebody's honest opinion in the praise of the wife that they deliver that information.
In the praise, I thought you said in the praise of the wife.
That's why you need to read a book. Go and read. If you just want to read only chapter 13, maybe we should sell chapter 13 separately, individually. So people can read the full chapter. It was not even about that.
I've been reading the book, and you see this chaotic reaction from Liberian people, and especially Liberian women, the deniability of the authenticity of the book. How do you feel? Does that give you a nice?
I don't think that's a denial about the authenticity. I don't think that has been an issue. I think the issue has been some people's sensibilities may have been offended, and their sensitivities as well, because of how he described why his preference. So we can run away from this thing. That's why, stuff like rape is consistent, continuous in our society, because we try to sweep things under the rug. We got so many social issues, T-Max. We got rape. We got sexual and gender-based violence. T-Max, in your community, every now and then you hear some kind of man beating his wife, or some kind of boy beating his girlfriend. It's like we probably accept those kind of behaviors now. We got sex for grades. Okay, that's a major issue. We got sex for jobs. We got sex for promotion. We got these young underage girls getting pregnant and their body's not prepared to produce this, and they get all kind of tears within, you know, their system, their, you know, reproductive system. They did a study, and like 95% of the young ladies with teenage pregnancy have fistula, which is very unhealthy. It's still happening. And somebody like Joseph Boyka, who has been there for all these issues and never utter one word on these social issues we have affecting women, or on women empowerment, he had the audacity to come and say he was criticizing the book now and picking up the women issue. You know, and some people say he didn't even really author or know about that. People just put it out on his behalf to say he was saying something. You know, you got to have conviction on these issues. We have been, you know, advocating for women issues forever. Look at the lady Christine and Dennis that got beaten so badly, and the guy left. Interpol looking for him. We don't even have Interpol registration anymore. I don't know, subscription or whatever. But it just, these devious behavior, these deviant behaviors, they are in our society, and we try to sweep them. We need reform. We need to have, we need to be real as to what happens in our country and how we can reform and change, how we can improve the moral fabric of this country.
But the point is that you sound more of feminist, just like the president.
Oh, but no, the president is not a feminist.
Let me learn. That's okay. Let me learn. Let me go through this. And you seem to be advocating for the gross abuses of women's rights and women's bodies.
I've always been.
And
women participation in government, women owning land. Advocated for things.
Liberian women should be holding you up high, but when they came up, you're writing about you and Emmanuel book about George Weah, the king, the rise to power, the legend. Liberian women went in the street. I saw women groups demonstrating, protesting, even against your boss, that you got to get fired, or they should not. They should hold them hostage. What is the contradiction? You preaching for this salvation and the rights of people. Yeah, they are protesting against you. Is it not hypocritical?
Isn't that a regular thing? Isn't that, you know, don't you see that outrage as contrived? It's contrived. It's fake outrage. It's not real. Let's face it. You know, our people and the issues, they try to put our, you know, it's unfortunate, but it's a fact. Only probably 20 to 25% of our people are educated. And in that 20 to 25%, probably 15% of them or less are critically educated to understand nuances, to be able to analyze. So not because people can read and write and literate means they can understand things, or they can understand the difference between a writer/messenger, the person who uttered the words, and how those things are delivered. You know, so it's there, but we don't want people to have this false perception. That's why we are coming and talking about the issues. That book is a history book. It's a bestseller history book right now. That's the category it's in, because it brings reality to life, concentrated fashion. And if people can't understand that, what can we do? We just got to talking about it. That's why we're having this discussion. Let's talk about the women issues. Let's talk about empowerment for women. Let's talk about all these negative things that are happening to women. T-Max, look at the situation with the 7-year-old little girl, the guy at the embassy there in Abuja. Okay, you know about that story. His co-embassy staff, 2 young boys, 15 and 16, abusing that little girl for months. Let's take the 13-year-old girl who was raped, sodomized, and died. What was the outrage? How can you compare that with 2 words in a book or a description in a book?
And that is that is the funny thing. Like I was asking guys, I might not want to read a book in its entirety, but these occurrences as contained in the book are things that happen every day. I don't see a women group. A little guy was razor blade for the guy to get in there, and I didn't see women. I listen to people on the radio, the insulting. Liberian women, even the vice president of Liberia. I don't see there's support coming from Liberian women group in the support of the vice president. Now here we are with this graphic thing and people that are coming up. I'm wondering, maybe you should have kept your mouth shut and forget about the issue of women, and we live our lives the way we want to live them.
No, I can't live like that. It's unfortunate. I just can't live like that. I've been an advocate for everything positive for Liberia. I really, really want a better Liberia. I hope to see it in my lifetime. But when you have people, when you have a system, when you have people, when you have hypocrites, when you have sycophants who will try to push an agenda that is not true, that is far from the truth, there have to be one or two people that stand up and talk about it. So, it's probably lucky for us that we're not killed while in Liberia, because supposedly there was an attempt. I'm still trying to do that research to find out who pressed button, who did what, who were those coming. But there was an intent to do something negative. Luckily, I'm happy that I'm out. But we'll continue to talk.
You thought they would have killed you, eh?
No, I thought. People have said
that
the intent was to kill me. We've got to get to the bottom of it.
Now you believe that?
At some point, if I believe it?
Yes.
See, man, look at the murders that people... Do you think people are safe in our country? What happened with a young man whose tongue was cut just the other day? What is the issue with it? He was sodomized as well. Why is this decadence in our society? This like primitive, primal, decadence in our society where people don't feel protected at all. They got no recourse. But they will use police resources to say they're trying to deliver me safely from, Bold side where they drove me to come to town, when they should be investigating murders and other things around the country. It's sickening. Why should immigration be having a program to say they're handing me over to my family or my lawyer? I'm our child. T-Max.
What are Liberian women?
Guys who are in the media, I would beg you, y'all got to bring more attention to these issues. You can let our people continue to suffer.
What are Liberian women telling you now? Both in Liberia and in America. What are they saying to you?
Many are telling me that they see the point. Many are agreeing with me. Many are disagreeing. One young lady, I don't know her, she was blasting at George Weah for his praise of Clarke against Liberian women. But it's not really a competition. That's one man's taste. But we, as a people, we have to look at these issues. We have to work on them. We have to improve the situation for our women. Look, women are just
aspect of your book. Let's look at the political angle of the book. Some people were saying, some guys were saying the book would have been a bestseller had Ivar not agreed to being on the team of Alexander Cummings. Liberian guys, Liberian women would have appreciated this book. They would have said, "Oh, but we know this forever. We've known this before." How did that affect your political life vis-a-vis the life of your political leader that you work for? Would they both be as famous as it is? How you now work for Cummings?
I don't know. I think in my own right, I have my own popularity. I have my own, following, but it would still have had the same, I believe, impact. It is not. Yeah, they went after Cummings because of me, but the popularity of the book is not because of Cummings. They were using the situation that Cummings' chief of staff was part of a book that they perceive in certain terms, and they use that to try to get to him. But I never want to be a distraction. So it's fine with me, for me to resign. And that's the right thing to do, especially for, a man who's trying to move the country in a certain direction, and he's trying to be a man of the people. Yes, if that's the issue, you don't want to distract from what he's doing. No. But I still support Mr. 1,000%.
Was he pissed off with you because of the book?
You see, Mr. Cummings always takes situation as learning opportunity. He's not necessarily somebody to get pissed off and get angry and get, as much as he wanted me there because I'm talented now, I got skills, I got abilities that many people don't have. So he would love for me to have been doing the work. But that environment was too toxic, and he didn't need me there to stir it up while he's trying to battle on different fronts. They're trying to stop him from being a candidate. They're trying to do everything, you know. So it's just sad. It's just sad.
Did he force you to resign? Yeah, Emmanuel coming.
And me and Emmanuel coming argue. Me and Emmanuel about to argue, T-Max. So don't join inside.
No, I'll get to that.
Because Isaac being on this book took away from the main story. The man is a politician. I'm not a politician. In fact, officials of George Weah's government reached out to me after I sent out the excerpt of the book in December of last year. The book came out January 17, we launched it. Newspapers in Liberia carried it. GNN, Front Page Africa, they carried it. Both newspaper in Nigeria, Ghana, Tanzania, Uganda, because it was worldwide. So they carried it, and George Weah, some of his officials reached out to me. They're like, my man, this book here, you need to remove Ava from the cover of the book.
Why?
And I asked, because Ava is the name Isaac Tukpah is like a virus. It's, you know, in Liberia or in political arena in Liberia, he's like, you know, they don't want to see it. I'm like, they say, okay, my man, don't publish the book. I said, but we give Mr. Weah, can he talk? They say, you know that man, when I sit there and talk with you about book, he has to authorize the book. What they don't understand, some of them live in the United States here. What they don't understand, that you can write about your president without authorization. You can write about celebrity without authorization. George Weah is a celebrity. So I told them I was not going to remove the man's name from the cover of the book.
But you could be sued. You could be sued for libel when if the celebrity felt that what you wrote about him was never the truth.
Except it's not true, because they have the burden to prove that it was not true. I have is
chapter 13 the truth?
Yeah, it is the truth. George Weah has a filthy mouth. He sleeps with women and he discusses them with his friends. Everybody knows that.
But T-Max, go to what Malu said. I know you listen to the Malu audio, the Malu audio. You listen to it. I know you have listened to other audios around.
Malu stuff was Lagos talk. So I wouldn't.
Okay,
I wouldn't buy Lagos talk.
When people drunk, I want to tell the truth, right?
I don't know. I don't drink.
Then the thing on your heart that you're not brave to say normally when you flip, then you got no more restrictions or limitations or inhibitions. You will say what you want to say.
I tell people what I want to say. I tell people what I feel about them without being flipped.
T-Max, some of us are different. You are caught of a different mode. Most other people will suppress. And you know, in our culture, that's suppression of real opinions, because many people are belly driven. Many people are dependent on people. So they don't have that real luxury or opportunity to say the truth. They don't.
Okay, let me take my break. Let me take my break, because we got a lot of guys on the other side waiting to talk to you and talk to the Emmanuel as to your intent and how you feel now that the book is out and become so toxic and chaotic in our society. Let's take our second break and be right back.
Listen up. Here's a special Valentine deal from Orange Money. All customers transacting using Orange Money stand a chance to win a romantic dinner for two. The more you transact between February 6th to 11th, the better your chance. Put some light in your relationship and life in your home. Do all your transactions this Valentine using Orange Money, and you might just be a lucky winner. To transact, dial *144# or download the Orange Money Africa app from Play Store or App Store and follow the instructions. You must self-activate or self-purchase. A third-party activation is not eligible. Oh la la! Stand a chance to win a free and cozy dinner just for two at one of Liberia's best restaurants. Sparkle up your love life this Valentine. It's the Orange Money Valentine's promo. Love is in the air.
Brings you closer to what matters.
Orange. Listen up. Here's a special Valentine deal from Orange Money. All customers transacting using Orange Money stand a chance to win a romantic dinner for two. The more you transact between February 6th to 11th, the better your chance. Put some light in your relationship and life in your home. Do all your transactions this Valentine using Orange Money, and you might just be a lucky winner. To transact, dial *144# or download the Orange Money Africa app from Play Store or App Store and follow the instructions. You must self-activate or self-purchase. A third-party activation is not eligible. Oh la la! Stand a chance to win a free and cozy dinner just for two at one of Liberia's best restaurants. Sparkle up your love life this Valentine. It's the Orange Money Valentine's promo. Love is in the air.
Brings you closer to what matters.
Orange.
After being in the business for more than 20 years, Uptown Garage has all it takes to make your car work best for you. Uptown Garage has brought in all sizes of new quality tires. We also have the efficient and long-lasting Uptown batteries. Uptown easily detect any problem with your car. Don't worry, we can fix it for you. Is your car having any electrical problem? Uptown Garage is at the intersection of Broad and Nelson Spare Parts Store on Broad Street side. We have our garage and new showroom at Rehab at the junction of President Weah's residence. For original spark plugs from Japan, oil filters, engine oil, and everything you need to get your car working perfectly, come to Uptown Garage. Give 1 month warranty. We also provide a tow truck if we are the ones to work on your car. But we can also tow your car anywhere for a fee. Contact Uptown Garage Head Office on 0777 553317 or 0886 553317 or our rehab branch on 0770 902865. Uptown Garage, your smile on your face.
Thank you very much. Back on 50/50 on Sky 107. We are discussing the book written by Emmanuel, Clarke, and Isaac Tukpah. I hope I'm getting him clear today. I hope I'm pronouncing it. Isaac was in Liberia. He left Liberia, resigned his position, and now he's in the States, rejoining his co-author, Emmanuel Emmanuel Clarke. So it's your time now to participate. They are on the line. They're listening to you keenly. If you have any question, but I want your question to be based on the book. Don't ask them personal. Let the question be related to the books that we are discussing. So the numbers 0777 You'll be live on 50/50 on Sky 107, or better stay call us on 0777 You'll be live on 50/50 on Sky 107. My guest, my friend and brother, he left me Nicodemously. Some people say he went in two parts, one part to both water side in the bag. So let's go to the line, talk to our very first caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to Max.
Good morning. After this listening is watching, you go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just phoning from Bravo City Kids Police Community.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so the authors of the book, from my own perception, I don't think they do well in writing the book. As you said earlier, they reached to the internal affairs minister and others, government officials, to get to the person so he can give them assurance or the go ahead to write the book. So since the president gave them go ahead, I think they should wait a little bit after he has given a or authority to write the book. Then they should go ahead. But the idea in which they wrote the book or their actions, it should disrespect to the presidency, because you don't do that to a sitting president. Let him give me one example of a head of state in the region or in the world right now, as such books were written about in such manner. They can do it. In relation to, I think, what we said, you are saying that the president, he speaks with women, he discusses with them. So I think these guys should very, very apologize to the president, and that particular chapter or that particular book let them take it off and let them destroy it because it shows no respect.
Thank you very much.
And it shows they respect.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
In the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Iva, did you listen to him? Iva, did you listen? Iva, did you get him?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Yes, T-Max, I really feel sorry that some of our people don't understand issues, don't understand the big picture, don't understand the liberty that writers have to talk about issues. You don't need a president's permission, you don't need a celebrity's permission to write about them. You don't need anybody's permission to write about them. If you do the appropriate research, fact-based, triangulated, cross-reference, you feel at peace in terms of your delivery. So, for people to be limited and narrow-minded and not exposed to know that anybody can write a book, it's just pathetic. And we're happy that some of these conversations are coming up and indirectly, all of these things are being talked about because hopefully we enlighten people's minds. They will understand the liberties that they have, that other people have. They will understand, how some things are processed. They will understand the difference between somebody who said something, who they said it to, and that person saying it, and people cross-referencing and publishing it.
Okay.
And that's just the fact. A lot of times, people don't talk to the people they write about. They don't interview them directly. It happens.
Okay, let's
just jump in real quick. Can I just jump in real quick? Can I jump in real quick?
I want the guys to call and I want you to take a note on that so that you respond to their question because
you asked me. Okay, yeah, we can wait until all the calls are done.
I just want you to listen through. Let's go back to the line. Talk to our next caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Tima Grate.
That's
Let
my
me
name.
say good morning to your studio guest. My name is Daniel G. Cardio, and I join you from Ghana.
Go ahead.
Tima, I listen to your studio guest. Really, I don't know how Tukpah said he didn't do anything wrong in Liberia. Why he was escaping when he know he don't do nothing wrong, when he know the publication he made it was in the right direction. I listen to Emmanuel Clarke. Tima, dragging of being an academician.
Go ahead, I'm listening. You went dead. Okay, his phone went dead.
Yeah, have some of the network problems there.
Yeah, I think that we will manage that. You were here. Don't feel that it's different than when you were here before you left. So
I had a problem a lot of times.
Yeah, let's manage that. Let's go back to the line. Talk to our next caller. Good morning. Good morning, my brother. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Andrew G from Rivertown.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, T-Mac, your two guys should thank God that President Weah is not a president who can face on his side. There are no Africans here who can face on his side. So we are over here, I said, so that fire here and say, don't make me lose my temper. But they are there. Thank God. Thank you.
Wow. Call me on that number, then 0%. Let's go back to line 5. Talk to our next caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Tim.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Good morning. I want to say good morning to your two studio guests. My name is Omar Salif, and I call you from the Water Street Belt.
Mr. Van.
What we know is an biography is an account of a person life written by another person. I'm not a professor, but I want a professor to please tell us if you are writing about somebody's life story, the standard procedure, another person or quoting the person directly who got the proper information that should be presented to the person who's writing. Because the issue is about writing about my life story. Not quoting another person, but giving the exact account from my own story. Because it's about me. I'm listening to your studio guest. You talk about the person being a public official, meaning when you're writing about the person, if the person is not in agreement, you can also go ahead and write. I believe that's a serious contradiction. So I please want you to explain to me better
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think we'll give you the tutorial. Thank you very much. Let's go back to the line. Talk to our next caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Jada.
Good morning, my brother. What's your name and where you calling me from?
My name is Roosevelt Faso Banks, and I phone me from Brother.
Go ahead, Roosevelt.
Okay. Let me say good morning to our studio guests in there. Mr. Tukpah, I want to find out from you because the stuff around the country is that you was escaping Liberia through Sierra Leone. So I want to know by what time you was ever caught and were you leaving to the borders of Sierra Leone?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Call me on that number on 07777 You'll be live on 5050. Let's go back to line 2. Talk to our next caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Sima.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
My name is Anthony.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
All right. My name is Anthony. Calling from Do Community. Sima, I want to ask a student get a question. I started listening to him. He was excellent speaking and I love it too. But I want to ask him a question. I want to know if he's a journalist or he's a writer. That is one. Two, I want to know, have you ever written for somebody before in the war? That's my question to him. Thank you.
The man feeling ready about job. We are not asking whether he written about somebody. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Girate.
Good morning, my brother. What's your name and where you calling me from?
Good morning to your 2 kilo discussion.
Go ahead.
The name is Mohammed Pathaway. I joined from District 15. Yeah, I want to ask you a guess. Because the chapter 13 of the book is raising a lot of public outcry. Is this a full text they have written it as a book, or it's just a biography about Joe Weah? I want to ask them.
Thank you very much. Call me 7777107. You'll be live on 5050 on Sky.
Good morning, Tima.
Good morning, my brother. What's your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Nobody. I'm calling from unknown destination. Let me take this time to extend my thanks and appreciation to Sion Brother Aze and Abatoba and that of Emmanuel. The language used in chapter 13 is not true to people in Liberia. It's not true to George Weah in Liberia. Logically speaking, there must be a reason why George Weah have to leave Liberian women to go to Jamaica. And those things are discussed normally among friends. My hard disappointment today was the Liberian women. You know, I've talked that and I do a study that majority and 95.9% of Liberian women suffering from mental retardation. Sometimes they do things before they think of that. In the sense that people can solo mad. A 3-year-old child, they use scissor just for penetration. A 13-year-old girl went there and then the solo mass or they have on your hand and she died. And then a lot of rape cases, and I post those cases every day on social media, on a lot of groups, but no one ever one day to go and protest. But because of the hunger in the society they find themselves, they have to pay them to sell their birthright only for one individual. Because of simple content. I support that book and I stand by what all that is written in that book.
Thank you very much. Can we pause now and give? Okay, let's take this last caller and then we go over to Emmanuel and Avato for response. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Jalade.
Go ahead, please. What's your name?
Yes, this is Yamfo Da Chalebi Bodia Yamfo. And I call you from District 14 into community.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Jade. I think the book written by Mr. Tukpah, our former COS, and Emmanuel, it just expose, what the Liberian people need to know about how our president discussed winning. And not only the first lady, but I even listened to a counselor. He said what was written by Tukpah and Emmanuel is not against the law. It's not unlawful. People have the right to write on what they see and what they visit and what they see about someone. It's not wrong. Whether with the person consent or not. You understand? I think all of the callers have said it. Mr. Dada, with all that been happening in the country, not just we are white. The women have been abused. Children have been raped. Nothing have been done, but the one starting is that the women of this country have been silent on it. They have not been speaking on it. So it's because people come and say, and they want to buy sentiment from the president and the government. We think that is wrong, and we stand by everything that is in our book, and we defend Tukpah and Emmanuel to the letter and protect our women. We are still protecting our women legacy, and we'll protect it and just in the book direction. So I want to say thank you, and he must keep it set high. He shouldn't be discouraged, and he should stand by what they say, and we'll defend it.
Thank you very much. Emmanuel, Isaac, you want to respond to those calls?
Yes. The first caller here asked about president that have been reading about when Donald Trump was president. 22 books came out about him. His niece wrote a very graphic book. The language in our book is it's not close to anything. Barack Obama books about 48 books have been written about Barack Obama, George Bush. So our people first, they are talking. Many of them are talking. They haven't read the book. They may not read the book. They might get the blurb or the snippet from Henry Costa, who aim was to destroy the book, and it's not going to happen, And we did not need the president's permission, as people keep saying. There's no law against that. We gave him the opportunity to come and answer. So get the book. The book will be available or downloadable tomorrow in Liberia and all over the world. You can get it from Amazon Kindle, Apple, and Kobo. You can download it to your e-reader to your phone and read the whole content.
Okay. Isaac?
Yes. Somebody wrote something interesting. This is Lawrence Flockier. He says, our people are functionally illiterate. How many times must it be repeated that one does not need permission to write a biography? Free expression is not criminal. Everything is politicized in Liberia. Make sure I get his words. How many of the callers have actually read the book? They have borrowed their talk show hosts who provided excerpts. How can one have an opinion on a book without reading the book? He's perfectly correct. T-Max, sometimes initially the reaction was to get upset with our people, but I really, really empathize with the level of simplicity, I want to say, for lack of a better word, of our people, the lack of understanding. They cannot talk about something they don't know about, and that's just a tendency we have. So this book really is a discussion piece. The issues around the book will be a discussion piece that can help our people learn and understand certain things. You just don't look at 2 words, 1 paragraph, or 1 section of a book, not even a chapter, and come to conclusions on a book. No, you can't. We understand that, people got some sensitivities, and for me personally, maybe the use of tight vaginally may affect them. But how many people don't talk like that? Okay, that if the reading is, don't put it in a book. So we shouldn't put anything in a book. When will we move away from that kind of mindset? Everything in our society needs to be. We have it. If not for Patrick Burroughs, I would say we hardly have a good history book in our country about our country that really researches the history of our country. So we're coming up with a second book, T-Max. It would discuss the governance. That's why the first book stopped to the rise to power. The next book coming up probably governance will discuss how George Weah has led. It will discuss some of the social issues that are still happening. It will provide some information, some statistics. It will talk about the economy. It will talk about the rule of law. It will talk about the justice system. So this is not an effort to just, pick on George Weah. No, even if people read the book, they will see the alignment of some of the historical events, the 1979 riots, the 1980 coup, the war from 2003 I mean, from 1989 to 2003. Those are historical events that are meshed and intertwined into the story. So George Weah's story is not just only about him, it's about our country, it's about our people, it's about the international experience and exposure that George Weah had. So people should not look at the book as two words. It's not. It's more than that.
Let me just jump in.
Yeah.
Let me just jump in. George Weah, during the writing of the book, there were a lot of back and forth. I'm not a politician, and never would I be. As an academician, I'm a professor. Isaac and myself, we had differences in writing the book. George Weah is my hero. The purpose was to tell George Weah's story. This man has a very beautiful story that needed to be told. I mean, when you read the book, people are reading the book, they said, but when they start reading the book, they said 98 or 99% of the book is in praise of George Weah. And Isaac, he had problem with it. I'm like, I'm not a politician. We got to write and tell the man's story, sell the man's story to the world, and sell it. I mean, unbiased, and unfiltered. That's how we wrote the book. The good, the bad,
and the ugly. Now we're discussing the ugly.
We're discussing
the ugly.
Yes. And people are looking at the ugly, and the ugly has overtaken 99% of the good.
Okay, let me go back to you and I, let me put it up. But let me start with Alva. You were with the CDC. Rock of Ages, Clarke for me. You formed the CDC, gave it the prominence, gave it the publicity, gave us the stuff that you said you would do. Unfortunately, you got kicked out. You didn't write that book then. You were with George Weah. You knew everything about George Weah. You didn't write that book until you got kicked out or got frustrated about the realization of what CDC would do and was not forthcoming. You left and you wrote a book. People are saying it's just you're not being balanced. It's just your revenge.
So, T-Max, we on this show yet? We are on this show. You're not listening to anything Emmanuel said. Emmanuel told you we started writing the book since 2017.
But you were with the 2017. Were you with the CDC?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
2018, I was with the CDC. 2019, I was with the CDC. It was 2020. By that time, the book was close to complete.
So in other words, that when you were on the corridor of CDC, you might have firsthand got all the detail of the actuality, the facts about this book, the contents of the book has been true.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I told him I was clear. This book will not be about my perception or my input on George Weah. No. We have to go to the real truth. We have to talk to people. We got interviews, we got recordings, we got discussions, we got questionnaires that we send to people in email. Some people refuse to answer, some people answer.
Your days with your days with CDC, did you enjoy that about sit down and discuss girlfriend things? How she look so cozy and nice.
George Weah may have gossiped about some people and said some things in passing about people, especially that he turned foolish man that he liked. But he never gossiped about, he didn't see that in my face. I'm not that.
No. Not that he saw that in the face. Have you ever heard him discussing his past experiences dealing with beautiful girls and how they look like? Has he ever, is that the man talk? Has he ever done that? Have you ever come across that?
Again, that was not between us. That was not between us. He said that, and I heard that so many times about him and other people. I've heard even some worse stories than what was put in the book.
For example, the worst story.
I'm not giving an example because this is not about me talking about money. This is about researched information, cross-reference information that has been put into a book. So it's not about me just individually talking about the guy.
Okay.
What about the this lady Tanji? What's her name? Isaac.
Tanji Banto.
And I mean, talking about how, George Weah discussed Safar to her. Then he went and discussed Tanji with Safar. My great, and the recordings are out there, so it's nothing new. People taking George Weah to be an angel. That's why the book said George Weah was not an angel. He has been. I mean, he has been a bad boy. In Gibraltar, there was time in the book. I'm not trying to let out. He got burned one time, and literally the people there, after he was taken out of the place, the people were happy that this bad boy has been taken. He was in his team when he sustained a 3rd-degree burn. We talked about that. Who gave it to us? We were not in Gibraltar in the 70s.
Okay, our time is running fast. Were you people ever, for that matter, ever, will you ever dare come back to Liberia?
What do you mean dare?
I'm asking
come back to Liberia now. But you know,
because you ran off. You said if you had not run off, something would have happened to you. Will you dare come back to Liberia?
You got to be able to have tactical retreat, T-Max.
To fight the next war.
Yeah, to fight the next battle. And now this is the battle where we try to work on the people's minds, where we try to educate them, where we try to make them understand. Look, a lot of us, our emotional intelligence is low. How we react to things, that's not a normal reaction. We just get uprolled from the first thing. We just get upset. And even me to some extent initially. But now I'm in a teaching mode. I'm in a mode where I want to have these discussions with anybody who's rational, who want to listen. Let's talk about these things that affect our country. You know, and some of these people are right. Liberian women don't know what the stage protest for, but I don't want to generalize and say just Liberian women. Some of our women. How many of the people who you think were protesting have read the book or even read that particular excerpt? Most of them haven't, but based on what somebody told them, oh, they may cursing women, he talking about honor women, blah, 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 then they jump in the street. And that's not only women. Men do the same thing too. So until we can elevate the intelligence, the collective intelligence, the collective critical analysis of our people, we'll be there. And that's what some of us have been fighting for. And that's what we expected a CDC government to start to do. But CDC government is now depending on the ignorance of the people to use them. And we can't stand for that. That's part of the reason why some of us left the CDC. People think that only job. No. If we could have an enabling environment, most people now want government jobs. Some of us were in the private sector when we were younger and working in Liberia. We wouldn't have got a government job because it was the only avenue to be able to get, scholarship to get out of the country. But there were thriving private sector opportunities way better than government jobs. My first formal job as a 17-year-old, I was making more in Liberia than my mom and papa were making at Ministry of Finance and LEC by working on Chase Manhattan Bank. My first job, I was making $300 something when I was 17 years old. It was more than my mom's salary, 200 something at finance, and my pa's salary, $310 at LEC.
So, if you sit back, has George Weah changed in your mind? Your evaluation about George Weah, his concept, his thought process, has it changed?
You know what? I missed some things in the struggle because we're really, really focused on, winning state power. We're really focused on convincing the Liberian people. My contribution, I gave credibility to the CDC. The CDC were in the dumps in 2009 when I joined the CDC. But based on my persistence, based on my articulation of my vision intertwined with what the CDC had there, based on my ability to sometimes dislocate people, at the same time be able to preach this new change that we're talking about with the CDC, it brought many people over to the CDC. But George Weah was an absent leader, and it's being demonstrated today. George Weah goes to work. George Weah is not really involved in the governance of the country. He's an absent leader, and he was an absent leader with the CDC. But because we're so consumed, we're so in the trenches, trying to make things happen, working consistently, neglecting our family, neglecting other opportunities because we want to change Liberia. So that's how it happened. But, I just was not aware at the time. My eyes were not open, but I'm seeing it now in terms of his governance. But one of the fundamental things that I really believe at that time, T-Max, I really believe that George Weah loved the Liberian people. He loved Liberia, and he would make the right decisions in the interest of Liberia. And I have seen contrary to that since he came to power.
Thank you very much. Thank you to the Emmanuel for giving us the opportunity to talk to you, to get your side of the story. You say you're coming back to Liberia?
Yes, that's my country. I have to come back.
Come on, don't give me that long story. When you're in
Not
America.
long story, that's short story.
So when are you coming back? When are you coming back?
I can't give you a date right now. If you can find a job for me, I will come back right away.
Yeah, I got a job for you.
Yeah, I will come back for fun, maybe, T-Max, but I won't come back for substance.
You come for the during the election period, the campaign period.
Way before the election period, I will be there. What? T-Max, we're not running away. You see, not only one person child crazy though, T-Max. Okay? There are other people who support me. There are other people who, if something happened to me, they have the ability to impact other people. Not everybody continue Liberia. Other people got people in different places. So we can't threaten each other. But if my family is really concerned, all my close friends are really concerned, I gotta respect their concerns and exit when the situation is not tenable for me.
Okay. My last question to you and Emmanuel. What is the single good thing about George Weah and his administration? What will you put your thumb on it? The single best thing going for George Weah in the administration.
Single best thing?
Yeah, you've been with him for rock of ages. You at least give me some.
In my mind, the single best thing that working for them is a combination of his popularity and the level of lack of understanding of democracy from most of our people. Ignorance is really working for this government. People don't understand the rights. People don't advocate for the rights. That's why I have advocated civics, teaching our people how to be responsible citizens. And responsible citizen means just being good in your own little box. It's about the totality of citizenship, the issues that affect other people. Because when they come for other people and you don't say anything, at some point, they will take everybody around you and then come for you. And that's what Liberian people have to understand, that we have a country for posterity, not just for today. And we can't let people abuse the rights of our people simply because they are in power and operate with impunity. The natural bounty that the Lord has blessed Liberia with should benefit all Liberians, not just a few. And that's where people who are sycophants, who are hypocrites, who are dependents, who are belly-driven, don't understand. They're just there to make that rah-rah noise, that muya noise, instead of trying to focus better on how everybody else is working, how to benefit. But sadly, though, most of these same people are suffering. Their lives have not changed. But they will stick behind it because maybe they just hero worship, paying homage to.
So Joria might win the 2023 elections.
He's an incumbent. There's multiple ways that he could win.
For example, he could rake it or what?
Definitely rigging is one option. Spending our country's money. He started campaigning already. But what about all the other chiefs?
So you could win. So you could win.
Just how he could win, Mr. Cummings could win, and I can even say maybe Mr. Boyka can win. So it's an option people have. But people have to come with a mindset that they won't change. Only one person there represents change, and that's Mr. Cummings. Only one person has the ability to move us back into the level of respectability in the Committee of Nations. That's Mr. Cummings. Only one person has really articulated a vision that can move this country forward, that empowers the women, that empowers the young people, that empowers the men, that Papa can come home and be at peace. So, it's up to Liberian people. They have to decide. Nobody can force them.
Emmanuel.
They got to look at themselves in 2018, January, where I was, where am I today?
Emmanuel.
Yeah, I'm listening. Yes.
Give me that single good thing going for George Weah that could propel him to winning the 2023 elections.
T-Max, I don't want you to drag me in your political mud.
I'm asking you, you're a Liberian citizen. You care for Liberia, right?
I love George Weah. Why do you think I took over 4 years to write a book about him? He's a great guy. As a person, he's my football hero. I'm in my 50s now. That too, I'm a few years behind him. This guy, I love him. But you come to
you being sarcastic. He's your football hero. Out of football, he's not your hero.
He's my football hero. And George Weah, the politician, is different. But the good thing that I like that he has done as a politician, as president, he has given young people the taste of power. Yes.
Positively or negatively? Positively or negatively?
It's a positive thing. It's a positive thing that he has done. brought a lot of young people. Some of them are millennia. He has brought them into the corridor of power. They are enjoying it, but is it impacting the nation? So I'm not a politician. That's from that angle. Isaac is a politician. I don't want any political power in Liberia. I want to write books and tell story. George Weah, this book will last on a lot of people's shares for a long time. So that's what I'm saying.
Thank you very much to two of you people. Isaac, you know me a lot. When will you start writing book about me?
T-Max, your story is incredible. I can put pen to paper for your story. You have a very incredible story. You have sustained the trials of even persecution to some extent, to suppressing the press. You have stood up for the right things, T-Max. Your story is a wonderful story. At the end of the day, I hope it doesn't even reach at the end of the day. I hope the press union could make it a practice, and even our country, to honor people like you who have, really stood in the gap for Liberians, educated them, bring the issues to them. You guys have a great job, or you do a great job of informing our people, and some people underestimate the value of that, because in Liberia today, the radio is very powerful. The radio is how we communicate with the remote places that have no good network or anything. So, T-Max, I honestly do admire you. I really hope we can sit down one day and have that discussion, whether it's a short story or an extensive book. We can do something about you.
Yeah, but why you kissing up to the man? You just sucking up to him like that.
The men are your family men. The men are your family men. We'll do the book free for T-Max.
But Emmanuel, my only take, you can read all the things about me. I don't care. But if there's something that has to do with chapter 13, please let me give it to you myself.
So chapter 30 has a certain connotation now, right?
It has a certain standard. You read stuff about me, my days in jail, read all the stuff about me, but there's something that has to do with chapter 13. Please, let me give it to you.
Oh, let me clarify something. Okay, so anybody can go back. Okay, when I was with the CDC, I never talked about George Weah education. I never talked about his vision. The point I always made for George Weah, my selling point for George Weah, was that George Weah loved this country, so he'll make the right decisions. That's my selling point. I didn't talk about George Weah competencies, because I know George personally. George is limited, and we just have to be honest with it. But if somebody really loves the country and wants the best, and somebody who is of Ghana speaking and understand what the streets like, and will be able to go out there and engage the people and know when they're suffering, when they're not suffering, which ministers will be doing what. That's my assumption. Unfortunately, he's removed from the people. He uses the puppet as a bullet point to get his messages across, but that's not enough in leadership. So, George, my advice to you, you need to do better for your people.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel, and thank you, my friend Abba. On that note, we come to the end of this edition of 50/50. My name is T-Max. You've heard the story. Make your judgment on the story. Was the book appropriate? Is it when you're reading a book, do you look for authenticity? Or do you get sources to corroborate the facts that you want to express? That is your judgment to make. I've done my part. Tomorrow morning, I'll be here again to discuss another issue in the interest of making our country a wholesome functioning society. Hope I don't step on any rough places. If I did, I'm sorry. It was not intentional. See you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye for now.